This pesto corn salad takes two of summer's main stars, fresh basil and sweet corn, and turns them into a side dish that's fresh, vibrant, and incredibly easy to make. For the full ingredient list, check the description box below. But enough talking, let's get cooking. The best way to prepare the corn is to grill it, but it's a little bit of a rainy day today, so we're gonna grill it inside. This is also good too, because anytime I show outside stuff, some people don't have outside grills. Maybe you live in an apartment or you don't have a grill, but I'm gonna show you how I do this on the stove. What I like to do to clean up the corn and grill it inside the husk, which is one of the best ways to cook it, is I'll just pull off some of the outside leaves, especially the ratty ones, and then I'll take whatever this little hair that's on the top and the extra leaves, and I'll cut those off like right where the cob starts. So now it's a little bit cleaner and a little bit more ready for the grill, where these parts on the top are not gonna get too burnt. So, and you can do that in either order too. So you could cut the top and then peel off any of these outside leaves. And usually what I'm looking for is like any of the leaves that just like are a little ratty, but I don't wanna peel off so many that I expose the corn. But anything that has like these green on it, like that extra green, I'm gonna pull that off. And any leaves that are loose, because if they're loose leaves, they're just gonna end up burning. We just want the corn that's on the inside to be protected by the husk. I don't know where you live, but corn is usually not available good all year round. You got a couple of months in the middle of the summer to the beginning of the fall when the corn is good, and you gotta take advantage over it. So I got my grill top with the grill side on over a like medium high heat, and I'm gonna take the corn and I'm gonna put it right on there. No oil needed. So this is gonna put heat through the corn, and it's gonna steam on the inside. And these are a little small, so how many do I got on there? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I got 7 on there. And I'm gonna turn these every couple of minutes until we start to see that the husk on the outside started to get brown, a little dry, and it's picked up some color. Let's say you don't have a grill top, or you didn't wanna do it on the grill. What you could do is you could throw it in a 425-degree oven for about 30 minutes, and you would get similar results, but the best is gonna be on the grill in the husk. I'm gonna skip the pine nuts for our pesto, and we're gonna use a combination of some walnuts and some pistachios. I find that these are really nice nuts that replace the pine nuts and aren't crazy expensive, because pine nuts, the price is out of control, and this also makes a really nice pesto. It's not super traditional, but it tastes fantastic. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our nuts and we're gonna put them inside of a little frying pan, and we're gonna bring them over to the stove and give them a little toast. So I'm gonna start these in a cold and dry pan and just give them a mix. It's okay to toast nuts in a cold pan. It's actually preferred so they don't burn. While we're over here, let's give our corn a little turn. So we'll take the bottom of the corn. We can already see that we're starting to get nice color on the husks, and I'm just gonna give them a little turn from the bottom while I still can with my hands. So we're gonna just take these over a medium-ish heat, where I'm gonna toast them until I can start to smell the toasted pistachios and the walnuts. This is an optional step, but I really think this enhances the flavor of the nuts and makes another really nice layer of flavor that's not there. Small little tricks like this separate a good pesto from a great pesto. And remember, when toasted nuts, always keep them moving, because they can go from untoasted and raw to burnt really fast. And you can smell when they're gonna start to get toasted. These are darker nuts, so we're not gonna get like big color changes. The heat is gonna start to release a lot of the oil that's inside all of these nuts, and that fat is going to start to cook the nuts from the inside out, and it's going to really enhance the flavor of the pistachios and the walnuts. So after a couple of minutes, these are already dark nuts, so they're not going to take on too much color, but I can smell that these are now nice and toasted, and they're giving off really a nice aroma. So let's get these off the heat, and while we're over here, we'll give our corn another little turn. So after about 20 minutes, rotating every few minutes, you can see we got really a nice color on the husks of these, especially this really dark one. Then we know that this is cooked, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these off the heat. I'm gonna let them continue to steam inside the husks while we make our pesto. So here I got some basil that I just pulled out of the garden, so I washed it, and now we're gonna pull the leaves off of the basil And we're gonna fill up the food processor with the basil. We want probably about like 2 cups. And I'm trying to keep the bigger stems out of it because I cut this right from the garden, so some of these stems are super chunky. This also gives me an opportunity to discard any like torn or bruised or bug-eaten leaves. You know, not all produce is perfect. I think that's a big problem in like social media cooking, is that everything you see is perfect, and then you get to your kitchen or you go to the supermarket or you're pulling stuff out of the garden and it's not absolutely perfect, and that's okay. Let me be the one to say it. Produce does not need to be perfect, especially if we're using it like this. A food processor in a pesto can hide some bruised or torn basil leaves, and that's okay. So now let's toss in our toasted pistachios and walnuts. Here I got some Pecorino Romano cheese. You can use Parmesan. Pecorino Romano is just a little bit better. It's a little saltier. It's got a nice bite to it that the Parmesan cheese doesn't give you. We're actually gonna garnish with some Parmesan cheese, but the Pecorino inside the pesto is the way to go. Now we're gonna put in the juice from half a lemon, some fresh ground black pepper, a very light pinch of salt. Remember, we just put all that cheese in there and that pecorino's really salty, so we're just gonna add a little bit. And now we're gonna put in 1 to 2 garlic cloves. This is a monster garlic clove, and whenever you're using raw garlic, this is the one time that you gotta show a little restraint. So we're gonna help out the food processor a little bit and cut this monster garlic clove into a bunch of little pieces so it processes a little bit more evenly. Whoop. So now, without putting the olive oil in, we're gonna pulse it a few times. I wanna get this to a nice crumbly consistency first, and then we drizzle in our olive oil. I find this makes for a way more smooth and evenly processed pesto. So now we're gonna turn the food processor on, we're gonna let it run continuously, and I'm gonna drizzle in the olive oil. And then we're gonna push all the big chunks that the food processor doesn't get to down a little bit. This also gives us an opportunity to check out the consistency. Remember, if you're working with the food processor, go slowly, because if you just let it run continuously, sometimes you don't get the consistency that you're looking for, and there's some chunks that like sit at the top that just don't make it down to the blades. And now this is where you get to decide whether you want a chunkier pesto or you want it really smooth. I tend to not over process it. I think sometimes running it a little too long can take a lot of the flavor out of the olive oil and make it a little funky. So I'm just gonna process it a few more times, and this is about as far as we're gonna take it. So you wanna see that it shouldn't be like liquidy, and you should be able to see like small granules of like the nuts and the basil leaves. We don't wanna turn it into a super smooth paste. This is about as far as I like to take it. But then again, if you want a smoother consistency with less texture, keep blending it, but I highly advise not to. Okay, so let's set this aside and let's take care of our corn. So now into a large bowl, I'm gonna peel and clean this corn up. We'll start at the top, we'll pull off the hairs off the corn. You really wanna make sure you don't get any of those in there, although some always get in there. And I'm always pulling from the top down, and we'll clean up these corn husks before we take the corn off the cob. And personally, to make the least amount of mess, I like to do it all in one shot. So I pull everything down, I'll remove any of the hairs, and then I'll snap the bottom off. I feel like it's just a little easier that way, and you get a little bit cleaner of a corn when you do it that way, as opposed to ripping it off and then everything goes everywhere. So now in a nice wide mixing bowl, I'm gonna take a small bowl that's got a little bit of a lip on it, and I'm gonna put it upside down. So now I'm gonna take the corn stem side down, I'm gonna put it in the little bit of a lip, and I'm gonna take a nice sharp knife, and I'm gonna work the corn off into the bowl. You can do this on a cutting board, but the corn goes everywhere. And this is a nice, easy way to do it that just doesn't leave you with a big mess and corn all over your kitchen floor. And we still need to dress the corn, so it's gotta go inside the mixing bowl to begin with, so let's just do it right into there. And all I'm doing is angling my knife right towards the corn cob and using that as the guide to pull off the corn. we just remove the bowl and knock off any of the kernels that are stuck to it. And it's way easier to clean this bowl than your entire kitchen floor. And I usually don't put in all of the pesto. I'll just put in a couple of nice big spoonfuls and we'll take the rest and we'll save it. And I can make a pasta today or tomorrow. Pesto also freezes really nicely. So that's something you could take, throw in an ice cube tray, freeze some of the pesto, and then you can defrost it, make some pasta, throw that right in there, and then it's good to go. So after a couple spoonfuls, we'll take this and mix this into the corn. So we're dressing up our corn and breaking up all the kernels that are all stuck together. So now let's take our dressed corn and add it to our serving bowl. Now to bring this amazing summer side dish home, we're gonna take some fresh grated Parmigiano Reggiano and we're gonna shave that right on top. And now how amazing and simple was this corn? It looks fantastic, it smells amazing, and I cannot wait to try this. So let's get a nice big scoop of this. Now look how amazing this pesto corn looks with the cheese on top, pesto, that fresh corn. Oh man, it's not gonna be hard to get a little bit of everything on one bite. The pesto, the corn, the cheese that we shredded on top. This is gonna be an epic bite. What I love about pesto is that you can taste everything. You can taste the garlic, you can taste the cheese, you can taste the basil. The corn is perfectly steamed and crunchy and tender and sweet. The flavors on this just keep going on and on. I love this. It just tastes like summer. This is the most wonderful summer side. It is relatively easy. You can prepare this in advance because you really only have to grill the corn, you make the pesto in advance, you mix everything, and you shred some cheese on top, and you get this delicious, wonderful corn salad. I don't even know if you would call this a salad, but is this a salad? Let me know in the comment section. Is this a salad? I don't even know what qualifies as a salad anymore because it's got corn in it and it is dressed, so I guess it's a salad, but I don't even care what you call it. It's so delicious. And corn is one of those vegetables that's it's not good all year. It's only good for a couple of months, so you got to enjoy it when it's this good. And when the basil is this good, it's hard to find even basil in the wintertime. If this is your first time here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, get the notification bell on so you can find out when I drop new recipe videos. And if you are into corn recipes, check out my summer corn salad. That is a really nice corn salad, and it's definitely a salad, where this might not qualify for a salad, but I hope to see you there. Thanks.